Markus Jooste orchestrated a colossal €6.5 billion accounting fraud at retail giant Steinhoff, wiping out the life savings of millions of ordinary people before ending his own life with a single gunshot, just hours before he was scheduled to surrender to law enforcement to face criminal charges. The corporate titan pulled a trigger on a South African beach, leaving behind a ruined empire and a trail of unanswered questions. Today, we uncover how a charismatic CEO fooled the world's most sophisticated investors, how his multi-billion-dollar house of cards collapsed in a matter of days, and the simple, devastating financial trick he used to hide the truth for 8 long years. To understand how this disaster unfolded, we have to look at Steinhoff International. Once a modest furniture manufacturer, it grew into a global retail powerhouse, often proudly referred to as Africa's IKEA. It owned massive retail chains across Europe, America, and Africa, selling everything from mattresses to household goods. At the center of this shining empire stood 2 men, the brilliant, aggressive CEO Markus Jooste and the company's chairman and largest shareholder, Christo Wiese, one of Africa's wealthiest billionaires. Wiese trusted Jooste completely, believing he was partnering with a once-in-a-generation financial genius. But as you will see, that trust would turn out to be the most expensive mistake of his life, because the entire empire was built on a foundation of pure fiction. Markus Jooste took the reins as CEO of Steinhoff International in the year 2000, immediately embarking on an incredibly aggressive global expansion strategy. Under his leadership, the company bought up brand after brand, seemingly growing larger and more profitable with every passing year. Jooste became a legendary figure in South Africa, especially in the elite, wealthy enclave of Stellenbosch. He was highly charismatic, operated with an intense, unquestioned authority, and cultivated a corporate culture where his decisions were never doubted. By the late 2000s, Steinhoff seemed completely invincible, attracting billions of dollars from eager international investors. But behind the polished glass of the corporate offices, a dark reality was taking shape. To keep the stock price soaring and fund his relentless buying spree, Jooste needed to show massive profits that simply did not exist. And in 2009, he initiated a shadow game that would last for nearly a decade. The financial mechanism behind the Steinhoff fraud was conceptually simple, yet executed on a staggering scale. To understand how it worked, imagine you run a small lemonade stand. To make your stand look incredibly profitable to outside investors, you secretly hand your cousin $10. Your cousin then walks up to your stand in broad daylight and buys a single cup of lemonade for $10. On paper, your business just made a massive sale, and your stand looks like a gold mine. In reality, you just moved your own money in a circle. Markus Jooste and a small group of senior executives did exactly this, but with billions of euros. They created fictitious transactions with fake or secretly controlled third-party entities. Steinhoff would record massive sales or investments with these dummy companies, generating completely fabricated income and inflating their asset values on the books. To support this massive illusion, Jooste and his inner circle retrospectively fabricated legal documents, contracts, and professional opinions, moving money through complex intercompany loans to artificially increase revenues and decrease expenses year after year. It was a perfect, self-sustaining loop of deception. For years, this multi-billion-dollar deception went entirely undetected because of but a lie of this size cannot be hidden forever, and soon, the first cracks began to appear. In late 2015, German authorities launched a sudden raid on the offices of Steinhoff Europe Group Services, initiating an investigation into suspected accounting fraud. Jooste, using his immense charm and authority, managed to downplay the raid, reassuring his board and his billionaire chairman, Christo Wiese, that it was merely a minor tax dispute. For a while, the magic trick continued, but the pressure was mounting. In August 2017, the German publication Manager magazine published a bombshell report revealing that Jooste was under active investigation for fraud. Yet, even as the walls were closing in, Jooste maintained his cool exterior, keeping his investors in the dark. But the ultimate reckoning was only months away, and it would be triggered by the one group of people Jooste couldn't manipulate, his own auditors. The final collapse began on December 4, 2017, when Steinhoff made a shocking public announcement. They disclosed that they would have to release unaudited annual statements because their longtime auditors, Deloitte, refused to sign off on the 2017 financial statements due to what they called accounting irregularities. The very next day, on December 5, Markus Jooste abruptly resigned as CEO and vanished from the corporate headquarters. The news hit the financial markets like a thermonuclear bomb. Steinhoff's share price immediately collapsed, losing over half its value in a single day of panic. Within just a few weeks, the stock plummeted by a staggering 97%. Between $12 billion and $21 billion in market value was instantly wiped out, vaporizing into thin air. On December 14, a devastated Christo Weiss stepped down from the board, realizing his massive fortune had been completely destroyed by the man he had trusted for nearly 2 decades, while the wealthy elites of Stellenbosch watched their fortunes vanish. The true tragedy of the Steinhoff collapse was felt by millions of ordinary South Africans who had never even heard of Markus Jooste. Total losses for South African investors reached a mind-boggling 250 billion rand, which is approximately $13.7 billion. Much of this money belonged to the government employees' pension fund. Imagine a public servant, a teacher, a nurse, or a police officer who had worked diligently for decades, contributing to their pension with the dream of a comfortable retirement, only to see a massive portion of their life savings vanish overnight because of the greed of a few executives. This betrayal left families devastated and communities shattered. In March 2019, a massive 14-month forensic investigation by PricewaterhouseCoopers confirmed the staggering scale of the deceit, identifying at least 6.5 billion euros in fictitious transactions. By October 2023, Steinhoff International was officially delisted from the stock exchange, its name permanently erased in disgrace. For years, Markus Jooste retreated to his luxury estate, using his wealth to fight legal battles and delay the march of justice. But on March 20, 2024, South Africa's Financial Sector Conduct Authority fined Jooste a massive 475 million rand for accounting fraud. The game was finally over, and criminal charges were imminent. The very next day, on March 21, 2024, just hours before he was scheduled to surrender himself to law enforcement, Markus Jooste walked down to a quiet beach near his home and died by suicide from a self-inflicted gunshot wound. He chose a bullet over a prison cell, taking many of his secrets to the grave, and leaving millions of victims with a profound sense of unfinished justice. A chilling reminder of how easily a charismatic leader can build a multi-billion-dollar illusion on a foundation of lies. How many other corporate giants are operating on financial fictions right now, waiting for the first card to fall? Subscribe to the Collapse Files and join us as we unmask the next great illusion before it shatters.